Good morning to you all, crafty peeps. And I just realized I never looked up the number of what floss tube this is. I don't know. I'll just have to include it, I guess, in the title. I forgot to look. Have been doing several of these now on YouTube for several months. So welcome back. If you are been with me for a while, and welcome to the newbies that they keep trickling in. I get new subscribers pretty much weekly, so that's pretty nice. So welcome to each one of you. I got to thinking the other day, I don't know if I really ever kind of introduced myself at the beginning. I don't know. I moved over from Facebook Live, and so I had a kind of a following there, and so you don't think of that when you've been doing that for a while. And I just transitioned to YouTube only because Facebook will not keep videos anymore. They'll only keep them for the lives will only keep for 30 days. So, and then they discard them. So there's no point in putting stuff there. People can't go back and search and find them. So anyway, hello, I'm Sherry, and I live in LaPorte City, Iowa, which is in northeast Iowa. And today we're having a beautiful fall day. It's like it was 40 degrees when we got up this morning. So all of a sudden we're into fall. But we had a very hot summer, so I think it's a welcome relief to most of us. So anyway, I have 4 daughters. We've been married for 52 years, and 2 of the daughters are local. One is over by Dubuque area, and one is in Chattanooga. And we have 15 grandkids, and so we enjoy doing things with them, and they're growing up. The youngest is a sophomore in high school. So in the next 3 years, they're going to age out of high school. We've got one graduating this year. We had one graduate in May, and then next year, and the year after, and the year after, and then they're all through high school. And then we've got a whole bunch in college right now, or in various stages of that. Or they're already working because they're already through their schooling. So anyway, that's a little bit of a kind of my background. I have worked at a quilt store. I worked at a local quilt store in Traer, Iowa, Iowa Star Quilts, for 10 years. And I purchased a long arm during that time. And I've been quilting for customers for probably 8 or 9 years now. I don't know, something like that. And we've got a sad story going on here. I've been breaking needles, and so my long arm went to the spa, a very expensive spa. I don't even want to think about probably what this bill's going to be. It's not going to be pretty. But I've never taken it in over 10 years. So, yeah, and we can't have it breaking needles. And I thought we had it figured out, but when I took it down there, they claimed that wasn't the reason. So I don't know. I haven't heard a word from them. I have a Knowlting, and they're in Hiawatha. That's partly why I bought that, because they're 45 minutes from my house. So, anyway, so we'll see. So I got no long arm, and we did a little updating of the house, a new front window, and so my front room has been torn up since June, and I'm getting a little tired of it, let's just say. We're down to the last. I gotta refinish the wood. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. I'm tired of it. You just want your stuff back, and it's been since June. So well, that's just kind of a little update. I don't know if I did that or not. I kind of don't think I did. we farmed for many years, and then got out of that. And hubby went on to school and became an RN and worked in surgery at Allen Hospital, and just retired maybe 2 years ago. So anyway, we're in our retirement years, although I don't know. I don't feel I'm not retired. I'm still working. So, yeah, there's that. All right, I'm going to show you a few. I was putting away patriotic stuff, and since I was hoping to kind of do this around Labor Day weekend. Well, that didn't happen. So I have a few little quilts that I had hanging up upstairs, and I thought before I put them away, I'll show them to you. I thought maybe you might like to see them before we launch into some other things. So, and I don't know, this is, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I did this a long time ago. So this is long before social media and that kind of thing. So, and then I had the top. This is one of those languishing projects. I just quilted it it says 2022. And I wrote, what I quilted it with, but I did it on my long arm. And this I kind of did custom quilting, dropped designs in the blocks, and yeah, that turned out cute. That's probably at the beginning of me learning how to do that. So anyway, oh, and here I'll show you the back. I use vintage linens to hang my pieces, damaged stuff. I have so much of that kind of thing. I guess I didn't say I like anything vintage. So that's going to be kind of my vibe. So if that isn't your thing, I don't know. You may not enjoy this too much, because that's kind of where I'm at. Always have been, and I haven't really changed. This is, let's see, Land That I Love. It was a sew along by Humble Quilts in October of 2021. So I'm assuming you could go look that up. Humble Quilts, she has a blog and has done a sew along. And so these blocks are, pretty scrappy. And then I added the indigo, and then you can see that. And I did the custom quilting on that again. I love my computer software for that. Dropping in designs in shapes, and then it fills it. Yeah. Then again, here's the sleeve on the back, and it's got crochet on the edge. And there's my label. I do try and label, and I do try and label them, and then because I have customers coming, I try and mark stuff with designs that I have done. So if I can show them a real piece of a certain design, I will, if I can find it. That's always the thing, because I do put away some of my samples. I don't keep everything out. This is a 4-patch style quilt, June 2014 by Kathleen Tracy. So my guess is you could go to her blog and come up with this. Too, this was a challenge. She has several books out if you like vintage and small things. So this is a 4-patch. And this I quilted on my domestic. I used, there's that wiggle stitch. And then I used the faux quilting stitch on my machine to make those lines. And there's a lot of these computerized machines have that stitch that you can use, and it looks like hand quilting. There's my sleeve on that one. And here's the label. So, and like I said, I have several racks upstairs for small quilts, and so I change them in and out. This one is a Temecula piece. I know that. It was the 12 Days of Christmas, and man, I don't have a label on this. I've got the date on it, but I don't have a label. So a lot of people, most people did this in Christmas quilt or fabrics, and I had Patriotic out, and so I just did it in Patriotic. So there's like one patch is one piece, one is two pieces, the 12 days, 3, 4, 5, up to 12 pieces. And so I did a lot of fussy cutting and used pictorial pieces, you know, like this and this and this, just all over the place. And then I put pins on it where we have been, all these places. We've traveled to several battlefields, not all of them. Out east, the ones out east we haven't been to. A lot of the ones down south we have been to. So anyway, that's this piece. And there's the vintage linen towel probably that I cut off. Put on the back for the sleeve for that one. And that one has been at the Grout Museum, our local historical museum. I had a friend that was a curator there, and she wanted it for an exhibit. And this one is, oh golly, Patriotic pinwheels. And her name is Sherry too. It's spelled C-H-E-R-I. Oh golly, and I can't think of her last name. This was a pattern by Indigo Junction that she did. And this was while I was at the quilt store. So this was a model at the quilt store. And there was circles appliqued here. I had buttons, so I put buttons there instead. And I did all of that applique by machine. And this would have been at the very beginning of my machine quilting. So I don't know how good it really is, but anyway, there. It's very graphic looking, kind of fun. And there's that's a piece of curtain probably that I used for the sleeve for that. So that was some of the ones that I need to put away. Okay, so let's see. Then I had a final finish, a cross stitch final finish, and that is the Liberty by Brenda Gervais. And that's this one. And finally, hubby got it framed. And I'm going to talk just a little bit about the framing of this. This was a frame we got at like a consignment store, Stuff. It's called Stuff, etc. here. And my husband cut it down. I'm kind of constantly on the lookout for frames. And the neat thing about this is I added this gold on there. And I was going to talk a little bit about that just because that might be something you'd want to have around if you do this sort of thing where you maybe frame your own, or you could do it to a purchase frame even that you use. I watch a channel called, oh my goodness, and her name is Sherry. She's from Illinois. She does a lot of thrift store makeovers. I want to say Canterbury Cottage. I'll try and remember to link it below. She just does a ton of really cool, thrifty ideas with stuff that you kind of wouldn't think would be that great, you know? And one of the products she uses is called Rub and Buff. And no, that's not the one I used. Let's see. I got a whole, I just bought kind of a package. Okay, here. This is what, all right, you know, this is what my frame looks like now. This is what it looked like when I started. Okay? You can see the difference. And after we, you know, I knew this, he was going to cut this one down for me. And after he did it, because of the gold tones in this picture, pull it up to you. I thought, oh, you know, I think that, you know, if I highlighted this in gold, it would kind of jazz it up just a little bit. And this is on, I didn't tell you, this is on 35 count lamb's wool. And I did 1 strand over 2. And so anyway, so here's how it looks. And this stuff is, this is so simple to do. You just took, I put the tiniest bit on my finger and just rubbed it on there and spread it out. And, you know, and then when I wasn't going to spread anymore, then I added just a little bit more. And that's all I did. It didn't even take me 5 minutes to do this. And it's, you can tell, it's a little uneven, but I kind of like the way that looks. You know, it looks, to me, it looks more vintage because of that. But, you know, you could put on as much or whatever. And I got this, I just went on Amazon and, you know, search Rub and Buff. And I just got this little set because I thought this sounded like the colors you would use. One is a silver, antique gold. This that I just did was this is antique gold. So that's what that looks like. And then there's a silver leaf, so that would be, you know, shiny silver. Gold leaf would be shiny gold, and then there's a black even. So I thought, well, maybe on a white or a real light frame, you know, on the right thing. So I just thought those sounded like the colors I would, you know, use. And it wasn't, I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't that expensive. And this stuff is going to last for a long time. But I just was super pleased how this turned out, and just so simple to do. And like I say, that's the difference. So to me, it really made this frame look nice. Then the other thing, I know Lori Holt always uses like a library card. You know, she writes down all this stuff. Well, I don't keep track of all my hours. I don't keep track of all that stuff. I don't know. I don't have time for that. That sounds like too much. But I did pick this up, and this was on Amazon. I just happened to see it. It's a little stamp set, and it had a library card in it. And, you know, I mean, there's my finger. So it's not a normal size library card. You know, it's not a, 3x5 or whatever they are. And there I show you what I put it up there on the back. So one day I sat and stamped a whole bunch of these cards, and it's super cute. I did it on white cardstock. There I wrote all my information, and then I inked it with probably Walnut Distress, Tim Holtz. I inked the edges and then kind of didn't make it quite so white. And then I inked my little pocket too. So now I have these little cards already made up. And then I made a little template for a pocket. So I've got that all together. So now I can just put something like that on the back of a picture and put my information. This says Globeland silicone clear stamps, and it doesn't have a product name on it, so I can't tell you that. This was the package it came in, but I bet if you would do a library card rubber stamp, I bet you'd come up with it. But anyway, so that was kind of a fun little deal, and then I could get my information on it. And so, like, if you're doing, like, for what this is, when you want to remember what the pattern is or all of that, then you kind of got the information down. Don't even know where to go next. I've got a whole bunch of haul. I guess I'll do my whips. I bet I'm not even going to get to, I've got a little project here I was going to sew on. I bet I don't even get to that because I'm already at 20 minutes. I was going to show you these too. I don't think I've ever shown these. I did stitch that last piece. I was having trouble seeing, so I wasn't doing so much linen. But I did do that 35 count lamb's wool over too, and I did that. But I've gotten a floor lamp upstairs, and I got that off of Amazon, and it wasn't that expensive. I want to say $40. And I got it by my chair, and it's got a magnifier, so I look right through it, and I can adjust it. But I also, at the same time, ordered these glasses. And I keep them down here because I don't have the magnifying light down here. And it comes with this whole set of lenses up to 5 times. And what I'm working on right now, I'll just grab one out. You put whatever magnification you want in there, and they snap in, and this is lighted. Because I do have lights around my neck. Like if we're going to travel, then I'm going to probably take this or my lights around my neck. But I don't want to shine it necessarily right at you, but there you can see that's the low, and then if I click it again, it goes up higher. But and you just put them over the top, so I can watch TV. I just look up here to watch the TV screen, but down here, for magnification. And these work just fine, and they're not uncomfortable to wear. Obviously, the battery only lasts, so long, and you plug them in. I shouldn't say battery, it's rechargeable. So these have worked out. I didn't use them right away. I had them for quite a while before I used it because I was always stitching upstairs, and I have that other light. But I made myself, I had one of these bags from, what's it called? 31 bags with my initials on it. And so I just made this the bag where I keep this stuff in. And this was called, oh golly, I don't know how to say that. There, I'll hold it up there to the screen. And you can, maybe take a screenshot or write down what you need to write down. But I got this on Amazon, and they were not that expensive either. And it even has a strap if you want to just wear it that way. I just wear it with like a glasses. And then these lenses, it comes with all the lenses. So I just keep it all in a little bag so it's all right together. But I have liked it very much. I don't want that touching my picture. So anyway, okay, what I've been working on here. Well, let's go to this one last. This one has been going the longest here. Oh, I forgot to show you. Got to show you that. I'm working on the 250th. That's this piece right here. America Sampler by Crochet Go-Go. And this is my weekend stitch project. I only work on it on the weekends. But it's coming along. I think I've got the first page all done. I don't think there's anything else I need to go back and finish. And I have changed a couple things. I made the America, it was in white on the pattern, and I decided, several people are working on this, and after seeing, a couple people's things, and the white really doesn't show up on here. And another place to look at that is this basket down here. I'm going to take that out and restitch it in something else. And I got to figure out what that something else is. And then this alphabet, it had a whole bunch of white. And I decided I'm just starting on the house. There's kind of a gray color. And so I'm using that. And it looks almost silver. So that's the color instead of the white in that alphabet. I don't care if it has kind of a shadowy look, but I don't want it to totally disappear. And I like the way that looks. That I'm happy with. But this, I feel like that basket just absolutely dies in there. So that's one thing I'm gonna rip out and redo. But otherwise, I've got page 1 done of 6. This is a big mama. And this is on 18 count Shrekie's Tan by Needle Bling Designs. And I got this, I'm pretty sure I got this piece of fabric at a retreat last summer. So, but otherwise, I love how it's coming out. It's beautiful. That border is just beautiful. I like the eagle, and I don't mind the white of the eagle. It seems like that shows up enough, but that basket just I don't know, it just dies there. So I will have to go back and I got to figure that out. Yeah. And then on one of my Facebook group lists, a gal had, I had seen these little, and I thought, oh, I want to get one of those for my patriotic stitches for what I do in here. And I just like patriotic things anyway. And it came with, she had a whole set of stuff. So I got the whole thing. It came with a needle case that's engraved. 1776 with flags on it. There, here's what the inside looks like. I may kind of take this apart and, add patriotic fabric. I just haven't done it. And then this is lovely tape measure to match. And here's a charm that actually could go on this zipper, or I might put it on something else. Haven't decided yet. And then it came with another pair of scissors. I happen to already have a pair like this, but that's all right. I'll stick, and then I put that. I had a girlfriend make that fob for me. So I've got that in there. And then it came with some floss. I've already put the floss away. And then it came with this. I love this. So I put this is the floss for that piece. And so anyway, and I see that they have them in navy too, and then they have them in turquoise. I kept seeing them in turquoise, and when I wanted to get a red one, I never could find the red, red until then this gal happened to come up with them. And so I ordered them directly from her. Okay, then this is my fall piece that I started a year ago. And this is what I work on during the week. So it's coming. I haven't done that much. I changed my fill-in here on the front. And this is, oh, let's see, what is this? Well, I had a piece of paper with it on. Well, this is annoying. I wonder if it's on one of these. Probably one of the ones I'm using, yeah. This is on 16 count. Oh, and it doesn't give me what the fabric is. It's kind of got, oh, hold it. I know where it is. It's on here. 16 count lichen, Ada. And I remember at the time I really wanted it a little bit smaller. 16's okay, but I'd rather work on 18 or 22 or 20. But it's okay. And then I was kind of kicking myself. I'm doing it with over one thread, not two. I kind of tried two, and I didn't like the look of it. I thought it looked too clunky. It looked too heavy. But I know a lot of places say you should use 2 threads on 16 count. But I listened to Linen and Scraps, Kathy and Molly, and she said she would use 1 strand on Ada of 16 count, but 2 strands on linen 16 count. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So that was something to think about. And I took out the color that they had here, and that was her advice too. Molly is doing the same piece, and she's doing antique lace up there for this front of this house, and I wasn't that keen on the color that I had there, so I ripped out what I did, and I like the antique lace. I think it'll stand out a little bit better. So anyway, but it's coming. And I know I haven't done that much fill, but I kind of only do that when I'm maybe not feeling the best. And I've got just, a few more. I got to fill in down here, and I got to add a stem there. And I can see there's a star there. I've got to, I think, do the center on. And then I'm down here to the grass, and then I'll have it, this part done. I kind of like to work on pages at a time. I don't like flopping through multiple pages. And then you can see I haven't put the name in. I'm not going to do the names that they have. And I'm thinking through that right now. So there won't be any names. I kind of forget what it's called, what the wording is on it. It's this pattern, the gather in, and I may just put the gather in that area there where it is. And I'd have to chart it out. I'm not going to do calliope. The only thing I thought of is I have to look in my genealogy books, and if I can find a picture of one of our family members that had a horse with a name on it, I might do that. And this is over 1 too. That presents a problem just because this is Ada. So I'm going to do something different there. I just haven't quite figured that out yet. But I got a little ways to go on that. So I still have hopes to, you know, get it done this fall. And it's coming. It's coming. And then for somebody who usually works on one thing at a time, really, I do. I typically kind of dive in on one thing, and that's what I work on. Well, since I kind of got a plan there, but I had a birthday a week ago, and somebody, I think it was Nicole, she talked about a birthday start, and I thought, oh, and I know exactly what I would do because I have another fall piece that I told you I wanted to get done, and I was waiting for some more floss. I got, oh, where's the picture? Here. This feels like fall. So this is the fall piece that's the companion to the Patriotic one I just did. And I want to do all 4 of these. There's a Christmas one, and then I already have the spring one. The Christmas one I haven't bought. So I started this. This is my birthday start that started the day after my birthday. How's that? But I don't think I'm doing too bad. I just do like an hour in the morning is what I'm doing on it. And it's kind of moving along. And I got my thread floss in the mail that I didn't have. I just got that the other day. So that's nice. So I've got all the flosses now, and I'm not, you know, jumping around because I was waiting for colors. And I've got that in my autumn bag. I did this last year. I think this is a Stitching with the Housewives fob. I'm not sure. And so anyway, here's the floss for that. So lovely. Lovely, lovely. This is 20 count. Oh, what is that? Classic Country Mocha or something. I don't know. I'm not very good at that. I am not good. Let's see. Do I have it written down here? I'm trying to be better about this. Vintage Country Mocha. Yes, I did write it down. Vintage Country Mocha. If I would just find my own notes. So anyway, but I'm tickled with how this is going. So my hopes are that I can get both of these done this fall. And it's surprising if you do just an hour a day how, you know, so I don't feel too bad about that. I'm not feel like I'm taking away too much from my other stuff. Okay. Yeah, I doubt if I'm going to get to this sewing at all. This is what I pulled out. This is what I was going to sew on, those pumpkin box. This is a block by, or a quilt by Bonnie Hunter. And one I've had, I wouldn't know, going how many years. It's been over in the file. Okay. Now I've got, rarely do I do this kind of thing. Rarely. And it was only because of the situation that was happening at my local needlework store, which is closed. And Miss Sherry's not all that happy about it. Before I get to that, here, I'll show you. I got a couple frames too the other day. Well, I guess the same day as I did my needlework shop. It happened to be on my birthday, and we went to Hobby Lobby too. I was looking for I don't know what, and they had a 90% off clearance aisle. I always look at that. And I mean, I hadn't been up there in ages, and I got 2 frames, one ginormous one for $20. And then I got this one for $6.10. I love that. This one isn't near as big, but I just love the detail on that. This, just love that. And so sometimes you can do better at Hobby Lobby on clearance than you can at Goodwill. Yeah, just saying. But my husband was like, he couldn't believe it. The great big frame, it, was $20. That was 90% off. It was a $200 frame. He's like, he couldn't believe it. He absolutely could not believe that it was that kind of money. And I said, well, that's why I do this thrifting frame. And we bought frame tools, like the staples to staple and put the back in and the whole bit. I bought all that stuff so he could do it, because one framing pays for all the tools, all of it. So if you have somebody that likes to do that sort of thing or is capable of doing that, yeah, that's kind of a cool thing. So anyway, all right, so that day on my birthday, a part of what we did was the needlework store was closing that Saturday, and this would have been Wednesday. So I'd already been up there one time, and I got some things, but then I decided, oh, I should probably get some more, some more floss, and it's when am I going to see this stuff discounted? Because it doesn't discount. So anyway, so we went back up, and it was in Waverly. And I think she's going to be kind of open, like you could call her. But I don't know. I don't know who all is taking stuff after she kind of closes, if she has stores or something. I don't know, because there was a lot left, I thought. Anyway, so I bought a lot of patterns. I bought a lot of fabric for me. So, yeah. Here we go. I got a Big Hearted Tiny Town. This is I would call it the Valentine's one. And I want to do drums out of these. And I have several here. Let's see if I can come up with all of them. Yeah. I really wanted the Nativity one, and of course she didn't have that one. I got the Harvest one, and I wouldn't mind doing this if I get these other ones, whipped out. But there's always next year, right? And then the Patriotic one, I got to have that. And like I say, I want to do drums out of all of those. And then here was a kit. I just thought this was too cute. I like this Santa. And everything was half price. So, I mean, seriously. I mean, if you bought things that you really loved, this is all together. Everything's in here. How cute is that? That's a Lizzie Kate. Very Merry Santa. Super cute. Lottie Da sampler hair. Love him. And then I went back to the floss area and tried to pull floss. Now the floss was getting picked over, but I tried to pull as much floss as these things needed. Here's Autumn Folk. I'd like this series too. I didn't get them all, but I got a couple of them. by Hands-On Design. And many of you have seen that. Maybe you've done them. I like her designs too. She does neat stuff. And here's the spring one. So they'd be cute to come up with the right finishing piece and then something I could take out. I'm not necessarily think I'm going to do that paddle, although that is cute. And I want to do some strawberries. I've got some Patriotic ones. Here's just a regular strawberry one. I just thought that was adorable. That's Hands-On Design too. Let's see, I'll pull out all these Hands-On Design ones. Oh, here's the winter folks. So what do I got? Spring, summer one is the only one I don't have. So I got 3 out of the 4. So those would be another sampler series, be fun to get into. And these are cute. She does really cute pattern. I love those. Love all 3 of them. And this, F is for flag. Love that. And pick your own pumpkin patch. I thought this was adorable. There'd be another one I'd love to do this fall. I won't have time to get to that, I'm sure. A girl in her garden. Here's another drum. And then this is cute. It's called Farmer's Market ABCs. And this even came with a bunch of fancy floss in it. So you just have to add the DMC to it. Yeah, and I thought that was awful cute. I like that it's long and skinny too. Yeah, that's kind of fun. And then, oh, this is adorable. Miss Raven's Pumpkin Sampler. How cute is that? And then I've had my eye on this one different times. Goodness gracious, I just think this saying is adorable. And I'm not sure I'm going to do, I'm not big into witches. I think I'm going to make a stack of pumpkins. I'll take some of these pumpkins that's already in the design and make a stack of them or something there. Or do something different. Or maybe I'll have another pumpkin, you know, hanging down there because they're hanging down from that tree. But anyway, but I love that goodness gracious. I think that's hilarious. So, and then a Plum Street. I like Jane Austen, and I picked this up, put it down, picked this up, and I just thought, oh, I think it's so cute. A Gentleman's Daughter. He is a gentleman, and I am a gentleman's daughter. So far, we are equal. And if you're a Pride and Prejudice fan, you know exactly where that quote came from. So, and it's not a real big piece. It's not huge. I just think it's so, of course, I like Jane Austen. So, I feel like, and I've got fabric to do a Jane Austen quilt. Imagine that. This is Tied with Heartstrings. Nicole Spohr did this piece last winter for Valentine's Day, and I just thought I thought it was lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, very sweet. Yeah, you can tell. Sure, you got several things. Oh, here. Okay, this is fun. This is for next Easter. Hop on in. And it came with the buttons. Super cute. But instead of $11.50, it would have been, what, $5.75? yeah, that's kind of why I kind of was, if I really liked it, I went ahead and did it. Oh, and I love the pincushion here. Well, in the needlebook too. Love everything on here. Can you really have too much Patriotic? I don't think so. And I like this one too. Super cute. Yeah, and this is cute. Liberty pennies. And then I got one book, A Heart Remembers, one Blackbird book. Where My Heart Blooms. Oh, look at that. Oh. Let's see what else we got here that's lovely. Oh, this is sweet. Forget Me Not. Love that. Oh, and I love this, Keepsakes of Spring. I wonder if there's a better picture here. Well, they only show part. It's like done on several pieces of fabric and put together. I like that. I saw that down at the attic. And I thought that was such a... Oh, here. Look. And those are done on separate pieces of fabric and then sewed together. So how clever is that? You could even, I mean, to me, I mean, this is designed to all fit together, but as long as you had things that were real similar in size, you could use scrap pieces of linen and put kind of a collage kind of thing together. Oh, and this is, I love this. This is beautiful. And that looks almost like that frame I bought. And then it had a darker edge around the outside, but yeah. So anyway, there's that. And then, oh, yeah, I got this too. And this is with I Needle and Thread. This is Brenda Gervais. I just love this. And I love the flower motifs. Here's the original. Isn't that pretty? Oh, that's pretty. And I don't think that would take that long to do, to be real honest. Okay, now into the fabric. I got 36 count tin roof by Weeks. And I'm not going to hold these up very much. I mean, I don't know how good the TV's. 32 count linen Wren. And just stuff I thought I could see with my magnifier. So hopefully I bought okay, you know. Oh, this is espresso, 32 count espresso, R&R. And these are pieces are various sized. They just had them, you know, various sized pieces, hunks, and then they were priced and they were half price. I mean, where can you go get linen and it's half price? That's kind of why I felt like as long as I bought stuff that was pretty. And then I just used that lamb's wool. Here's 35 count lamb's wool. So I got another big hunk of that. I love that. That I just did my Liberty piece on. So, and that was what? That was maybe different count. 35 count. Then I got 32 count piece of lamb's wool. So I got a big hunk of, and this is pretty good sized, this big chunk. So depending on, you know, the size, sometimes you wanted something a certain size. This is espresso, 36 count, so a little smaller. And then here's smoke, 36 count smoke. This is pretty. Really pretty. And then I think I ended up with 2 pieces of, yeah, I ended up with 2 pieces because I went 2 different days. Should have wrote down what I got. I ended up with 2 pieces of this tin roof. But evidently I liked it. I bought it twice, so that's all right. This is a 20 count Ada with the dots, and there's different times you see pieces that they'd look really nice on that. So I thought that was good. And then here's the vintage country mocha. I got a big chunk of that. That's what I just cut off to do that. I love fall most of all. My birthday start. So I've already cut off out of here for that. So, oh, and then she had fabric too. The only thing I got was I happened to see she had Lori Holt, the dishcloths, that's a panel. So yesterday I took all she had. She had two complete panels. And I've got 4 girls. There was 4 on each one. So I thought, well, I'll give one to each of my daughters. And then I've got a granddaughter and a grandson getting married. And I have another granddaughter that's moving into a new place this weekend. And so I'm going to do, give them little towels. So here's one I rolled hem. So I got my rolled hem out, and here's this one. And they're, very Lori Holt like. This is cute. This is probably my favorite one. And this is cute, little camper. I'm going to give this one to my daughter that has a camper. I thought that would be fun. She'd like that. So I've got one set done and one set not cut out yet. But it's heavy, it's heavy cloth. It's not like a quilter's cotton by any stretch. So really, I hope they hold up well. And then the other thing I got, and this is such an odd thing, but I had it and then I put it back, and then I had it and then I put it back, because you had to take the whole piece. She's going out of business, so, you had to take the whole piece of fabric. And she had this. Well, what does this look like? It looks like candy corn to me. And I kind of have a thing about candy corn. It's like acorns. I have kind of acorns, and I have turkey collection, I have an acorn collection, I have a candy corn collection, a little bit, not big, but kind of attracted to those things. And this is 14 count, and, I had to take the whole piece. So, anyway, it's a whole big piece of it. And I thought, oh, where else are you going to ever see that? Just get it, and then you'll go home and figure out what you're going to do with it, So after I got home, I thought, okay. And she told me who had used this fabric to make, and I looked it up, and I couldn't tell you the name off the top of my head. And she'd made some little banners. Though I just didn't really care for the designs. The one I didn't mind, she'd made like a pennant, kind of off of it, and then put boo. Well, that okay. but I didn't like any of the other designs too much. So I kind of went looking, and Priscilla was stitching with the housewives. I mean, she does that kind of thing so well. And anyway, I went looking. Well, here she's got this little design right here. And this is a sassy, she calls them sassy strippers. And they finish 2 inches by 4.5, which you look at this, that's perfect on here. So I got that one. And then I even got this candy corn, and mainly for the lettering, not for the whole circular design. I don't know, but the lettering. I thought, well, possibly I could use the lettering and then build up with some of these pumpkins or something and make a shape of kind of a candy corn and cut them out and make them into a 3D. That's what I'll do. I'll make them into a 3D thing. So I got that. And then what else? Oh, this one. This one is cute too. Pumpkin Queen. And she's got candy corn. So see, I think any of those would be super cute. This would, the Pumpkin Queen would be a little bit bigger. But so that's what I'm going to do. At least make a couple of these, and then maybe I'll see if some friends want to do some little candy corn thing, because I probably have enough here to do several. But I thought, oh, when do you ever see this? Like never. So I just thought that looked like fun. So anyway, there's that. And then, let's see here, a couple other things. I bought some needles. Oh, and then this. I got this little kit. I do like Mill Hill, and I like turkeys. So I found this little turkey. I thought, oh, that's super cute. And they all come all together. So anyway, that looks like that. Maybe I'll try and, that's another thing to try and get done this fall. I don't think I'll do very well. And then I had a friend. I had a birthday last week, and she sent me this. Isn't that wonderful? Thanks for being my friend. Love it. Without a friend, the world is but a wilderness. How true. And that's cute. It's got some cute little motifs in it. Bunny and bird and alphabet, and then patchwork across the bottom. Super cute. Here at the back, it's almost, trying to see, it almost looks like it's done vertically. No, it's a different piece. Oh, I see. There's companion sampler. I see. So very cute. Lovely. So thank you. That was so sweet. And then I was going to share, if you haven't stitched a sampler, or you are stitching, want to, I listen or subscribe to Ray Niles' Red Barn Sampler. She was at my retreat that I went to last summer. Absolutely delightful. And she has put out, with conjunction from a friend, this sampler, and she tells the story in her latest YouTube video. So go check it out. Red Barn Samplers. Ray Niles is her name. And she has a free sampler on her website. It's an American Nantucket sampler from 1806. And in the picture, you can even see the original sampler down here. And it's a lovely chart. And she kind of tells about the story behind it. It's connected to several very famous families in the American history. There's a color chart. There's a black and white chart. And she includes some of the history. And then, of course, she has what floss and stuff you need. But check that out. Eliza A. Macy. And it's not very big. So this would be a fairly quick stitch. So if you like samplers, and go check this out. It's like too good not to do. Too good not to do. So, well, I'm already at an hour and I've yacked long enough. But I had so much haul. Here's like one of my pumpkins. Here's another one. Got a stack. Some of them, they have the extra strip at the top, and some are at the bottom. You have to make, so many of each one. That's what kind of makes them go up and down. So anyway, but we can do that another time. So anyway, I think that's all I have for you today. I've kind of gone lather on and on long enough. If you enjoy visiting with me, and please subscribe, like the video, and I'm glad to hear from any of you. I love to read the comments, so let me know what you're working on, and if you have any questions, just jog my memory. If I don't, link something, I can go back and add. So sometimes I remember to do some things and don't remember other things. But anyway, thank you for joining me and hearing about my stitching, what's going on. Hopefully my long arm gets back soon. It's on a sabbatical. Oh, yeah. So anyway, but thank you, and I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.